Also, just to emphasize that the materials we had sent them yesterday to various email addresses, to the chat box. I will request the Secretariat to send again together with today's materials. So, for those people that missed the to download from the link that was shared. Right now, let me call upon Aminata to take us how we are going to coordinate with our partners. So over to you, Aminata. To start.
Yes, thank you very much, Mr. Chair. Can the program screening be stopped? I cannot share until the agenda for today be stopped sharing. Colleagues, good afternoon. Good afternoon. I hope we all had a very good day.
Yeah, good afternoon. You can proceed. You're loud and clear.
I know. Today, I'm going to be presenting on internal and partners coordination. At the end of the session, you'll be able to describe the importance of internal communication and coordination with partners, identify your internal and external partners who will collaborate with you during an emergency, discuss, establish, or review an risk communication working group. A reminder of the 5 key areas for risk communication. We have risk communication systems for emergency, internal and partner coordination for emergency, public communication, communication engagement with affected communities, perception, risky behaviors, and misinformation. An example of an internal communication, it is important to have resources, tools, processes, and there's a need to prepare, and we'll also look at challenges. What is internal communication? Internal communication is the transmission of information between organizational members or parts of the organization. It takes place across all levels and organization units of an organization. The purpose is for internal communication is not telling people what to do, but it creates a shared understanding and meaning. Only when this happens can people work together towards the same goal. Coordination platform and mechanism for internal communication with the agency for engaging key national, immediate, local, and international stakeholders, including healthcare workers. Effective internal communication not only connects people with one another, but also with the right information at the right time. This is a quote. Why is internal communication important? Teamwork failure most commonly involves miscommunication and poor team transitions. Majority of communication breakdowns happen when verbal and involve just 2 individuals. Status symmetry between the communication partners and ambiguity among responsible people is commonly associated with factors. Chances of miscommunication and error are more frequent in emergency departments, being most busy, interruption-driven, and multitasking environments. Communication can also break down because of lack of clarity about assigned roles, leads to ambiguity and conflict. There is a tendency among organizations to focus on internal communication only during times of stress and emergent situation. The daily practice, this is another quote, the daily practice of effective communication during routine operation strengthen message delivery and performance during emergency events. So it is very important to get internal communication. Tools, implementation of new technologies in emergency management could improve the speed and quality of communication and coordination. New information technologies are currently producing substantial changes in communication-related structures and functions. A process needs to be agreed upon, agreed flow of information with responsibilities and approval, use online tools and provide central hub, establish regular and defined processes, inform your team and ensure understanding of content, open discussion, share concerns and ideas, and emergency call system. Prepare your team to switch to an emergency mode, explain their roles, the roles that might change, going from priority to fill new tasks, ensure your team understands and practice, link with people from other departments and teams, go back to lessons learned from previous outbreak. Where did you miss support staff? Was information provided fast enough? What collaboration could be more effective? Inform your team, provide context information, ensure understanding, and get their feedback. Challenges. There are so many challenges when work is not well coordinated. In the context of uncertainty, organizations must still communicate efficiently to make critical decisions and allocate resources. Now we come to partners coordination. Partners help to amplify our communication. Who are the partners? We have partners ranging, we know in every outbreak, the Ministry of Health is at the center, but we have various partners, local partners. We have partners from the Ministry of Environment, different ministry, tourism, Ministry of Agriculture. We have the hospital, we have religious bodies, civil society, and we have international organizations such as WHO, UNICEF, etc. In partner coordination, we have to identify relevant partners. Partnering with government is critical. Relevant ministries, emergency response units, national, subnational, and local levels, specialized programs, health workers, and volunteers. We can partner with organizations, looking at donor organizations, international organizations, bilateral NGOs, civil societies, traditional leaders, and religious groups. We can also partner with private sectors and the media. I will not go over the importance of partnering with the media. We discussed it yesterday, but we also have universities, research foundations, and the social media that we can partner with. Identifying partners is very important. We need to identify existing networks that are in our communities based on the outbreak that we are having, such as health workers, women association, community groups, looking at gender and language issues. We can look for partners based on expertise, for communication, health, is it an animal health issue, sanitation, shelter, nutrition, etc., based on the area. We can look for partners based on the area of specialization. Specifically for our primary audience, are we looking at targeting children, youth, people with disability, or the elderly? And if we are doing that, we have to look for partners that are in that related area. Channels of communication, we can have partner based on the channels of communication we are going to use, and we can look for partners based on our geographical focus, looking at urban or rural area or the specific district or community where we are having the response activity. We also look for partners based on who has the resources, who has the hotline, who operates the hotline, who is most trusted in the community. Then we have to look for them. If they are trusted in the communities, we have to look for them as partners to be part of our work. Who has translators if we need translation, who reaches the vulnerable group. All these are possible partners that we can partner with when responding to an outbreak. How do we coordinate with partners? First, we need to map partners. We need to establish a task force or a working group, agree on rules, roles and responsibilities during the partnership, coordinate messages before going to the public, agree on who releases what, when, and how, share information on what each organization is saying publicly. There is a need to have one voice, make use of each other's channels. It is very important to develop a communication system with partners and organizations before the emergency or before you go to a full-blown emergency. Task forces and committees are very important. Effectively identified components, the existing relationship between responders prior to an incident, the role of the network or teams, the importance of exchanging information and distributing them between agencies, the use of information coordinators, the importance of public information officer for dissemination. Develop and build on relevant stakeholders and organizational networks across geographical, disciplinary, and where appropriate, national boundaries. Local stakeholders, there should be a mechanism of engaging local stakeholders, use of existing social networks, need to centralize resources to facilitate communication, identification and designation of an agency with the best geographical and community reach to lead the process, integrate NGOs into the emergency information system, coordinate with the press before and during the incident, tailor information and communication system to users' needs, and involve local stakeholders to guarantee the flow of information across sectors. If you are having a working group, which is very important, there needs to be a plan which has a terms of reference. The terms of reference should include the background, vision and objectives, functions during the emergency, membership structure, procedures, share, and a secretariat. There is a need to build strong working and collaborating relationship with partners, strengthen routine communication, ensure coordinated and immediate response from all involved authorities. Lessons learned from the Ebola outbreak in West Africa: lack of high-level trusted leadership during the early phase of the response, delayed effective rollout and coordination of RCCE activities. There was a need for clear leadership and strong protocols to guide all aspects of the response strategy, need for SOPs on RCCE to be available early to all partners and enforced to improve the quality and consistency of activities. Ideally, all implementing partners will endorse the SOP and conduct standardized training as a requirement for their personnel. Standard operating procedures or SOPs will need to be routinely reviewed and adapted according to the epidemiological findings and other contextual factors. If there is no coordination process, we lose speed of placing our information out. Other information from other sources will come out. There is a lack of clarity in the roles and leadership. Information does not flow, there is confusion, there is difficulty to make informed decisions. Our credibility is eroded, in the current emergency and for future emergency. No successful crisis and disaster management if it is not coordinated. Benefits of coordination: ensures consistent messages through a greater number of channels. It reduces confusion. It increases trust. It increases the likelihood that recommendations will be followed, and strengthen overall communication response. This is an example of a mapping of partners to identify partners and resources that these partners can provide. This is the end of my slide. This is an example of information that can be compiled of partners and mapping. You have those slides and you can use this example to work on your own partner mapping. Thank you very much for your attention. Over to you, Mr. Chair.
Thanks, Aminata, for good presentation. Yes, indeed, we have to map our partners depending on the emergencies that we have at hand. And remember that in previous presentation, we also tackled the issue that health is not just only for us people working in health. It requires multi-sectoral approach in order to achieve the health nations. She mentioned about the internal communications, and most importantly, partners are there to amplify our efforts. So we have to utilize and coordinate with our partners, but to do that, we have to check which partners are doing what, depending on the issue at hand, and also the area of focus, and also geographical locations. That was a good presentation, Aminata. So colleagues, do we have questions, comments? You can use the Q&A function to ask your question. And also shared on the chat is a link for the pre-test, post-test. So you should be able to download and send it back to the email addresses that have been indicated. So for the presentation of yesterday, I think it should be able to be shared as well. And yeah, so we should be able to download the link for the pre-test and post-test. Do we have questions to Aminata? Any question? I think the presentation was loud and clear, so nobody would like to ask a question. Aminata, you are very clear and precise. So there are no questions in the chat or even in the Q&A. We should be able to move on to the next presentation by Professor.
Thank you.
Thanks so much. You can now take a sip of water or a cup of tea and relax. I hope there will be more questions.
I'm sorry, Thomas. Hello, Thomas.
Yes, there's a question here.
In the chat box, I can see someone asking whether she could explain more the diagram of the partners mapping.
All right, so
but it is in French. The question was in French. I don't know whether
I've seen that. So over to you, Aminata, if you can repeat that slide
on the partner mapping. So to explain more.
There are different types of partners mapping that have been proposed. For this specific one, you have the partners and the resources. We need to understand which resources our partners have so that they can help us to amplify what we are doing. So for the example that was used, you have the channels, specific expertise of the partner, networks, access to community and materials. So for the example that was used, CDC at that time had access to hotline, and they had 5 staff, and the CDC had spokesperson, and they had facilities for training for hotline. The Ministry of Agriculture also had a spokesperson. Animal and health workers were in the community, and you have farmers in the community. So this can be used to implement activities within the community. UNICEF had TV contracts with the TV station. They had a designer, they had a video maker, and they had an IEC material. So if you need this for your work, you have to partner with this organization to get this. Pastor institutes have technical expertise, and they also had frequently asked questions. And the Red Cross had volunteers to work with the hotline. So it's an example. In each country and each situation, you look at your situation and see which resources do I need, which partners do I need to work with to reduce cost and to ensure that we reach the community and we work together as a team to pass on the same message and have the same intention to reach out people to change their behaviors. Over.
Well explained, Aminata. There are more questions. There's another question from Abraham. How do we synchronize communication in all the groups, partners, NGO, etc.? So,
Thomas, today I have a problem with connection.
Yeah, so noted. So how do we synchronize communication in all the groups, the partners as well as the NGOs?
The on and off.
It is very important to have a coordination team, as I said. We cannot work in isolation. We need to work as a team, have a plan, and have a strategy on how we can implement. The different partners can do different activities based on their capacities within the group. There is a need for weekly meeting. It depends on the type of outbreak, but there is a need to meet at least once a week to coordinate activities and to support each other to reach our goals. If there is no coordination, both of our partners, even within government, there needs to be coordination. I'll take an example of the outbreak of COVID. Some of the preventive measures we have is the use of face masks. Ministry of Health does not produce face masks, but we can partner with commercial institutions, banks. We can partner with them to support us to provide cheap or free masks to the populace. We can partner with the Ministry of Water Resources to provide water to the public. If there is no water, how can they wash their hands? So this is very critical. We can partner with the Ministry of Transport. We are talking about overloading of public transportation. We need to work with them if we have to reduce the number of people that are in public transportation. So you look with the Ministry of Tourism, tourists are coming in, we need to partner with them to ensure that those that are coming in are being tested, and if they are sick, we have a way of partnering with treatment agency, the treatment team, to find out that they are well treated. So it depends on the situation. If it's another outbreak, water-based outbreaks, we need to look for partners that are related to that outbreak. If it's malaria, we need to look for partners that are related to that outbreak. We cannot do it alone. We need to be well coordinated for us to get the desired results. Any more questions? Can I do one more? Then I end.
Yes, I think you can proceed.
Thank you very much for your attention. Over to you, Mr. Chair.
Hello, Aminata, that colleague, Anik, is still like to see on the screen the partner mapping slide.
So if you can share that slide,
yeah,
share the screen and that slide specifically.
Yeah.
As you are sharing,
I don't know, but it seems we have a lot of time, but the slides will be obvious. All the presentations will be shared with the participant, as we said from the onset. We are going to share that. So it's going to be a resource that you will have at your disposal.
Yeah, thank you for that. So 2 more questions for you, Aminata. From Tanga, in risk communication, sometimes rumors are important. So when do you involve community in the regards of risk communication? And from Ines White, how to work in an environment where Ministry of Health, government, is resistant to the reaction of RCCE group, or decide not to include all the important partners for the coordination group. So that's Ines White from, that's the 2 questions that we have.
Can you repeat the first question again? It's not clear.
Yeah, in risk communication, sometimes rumors are important. So when do you involve community in the regard of risk communication? That's the first question. The second one is how to work in an environment where Ministry of Health or government is resistant to the reaction of RCCE group, or decide not to include all the important partners for a coordination group. So how do you work?
Thank you very much. Definitely, rumors are very important. And I'm sure David will handle that. We cannot do without rumors, or let me say rumors, but also feedback. I'll focus on feedback. Feedback from the community is critical. We need to get feedback to know if our communication is going on well, and to support the public to make their healthy choices easier choices. We really need feedback. When do we involve the community? We have to involve the community from the beginning, from the preparatory aspect. How do we know how the community is going to change their behavior if we don't have a full understanding of what operates in the community? So the community are also part of our partners. They are our partners to implement. Remember that for risk communication, behavior change happens at community and household level. So if they are not partners with us, if we don't understand with them and they don't have representatives in what we are doing, then we are bound to fail. So the community is very critical in our response. The issue of having some government resisting the risk communication and community engagement team, I think we need, in countries where you have that situation, we need to evaluate what are the challenges, what are the bottlenecks, why are they resisting to our change, why are they resisting to our communication. We need to find out the root causes and address those causes to solve our issues. We need partners. We cannot do it alone. And you find out that where we don't work together with partners in a coordinated manner, we have a lot of challenges. There needs to be partnership, and we need to work together as a team, not competing amongst each other, because we know that each partner have their own resources, they have their own strength, and they have their own weaknesses. And when we work together, we can get more. And remember, partners are there to amplify our messages. We need them to be successful. Over.
Thanks so much. And also just to add that even the communities, they can be trained in terms of rumor tracking. They can assist to give out the issues that are happening on the ground. And it's very important for us as communicators to follow up each and every rumor and assess whether, and address the rumor at the source to ensure that it does not spread further from the source. Right, so moving on, I think thanks so much, Aminata, for the good presentation. In the chat, if you do not download the post-test or the pre-test, please do so now. Download from the link that is there, and have it filled so that we can be able to see how much progress we have done. Right, so we'll share all the presentations as we are concluding today's session. And also remember, we'll be giving out the certificates at the end of the course, but not maybe immediate, but we really need also to consolidate everything, and they will have it emailed to you after being signed. Moving on, we'll have another presentation by Professor David. Thanks so much, Aminata. Just stay there. We may have a lot of questions as well. So let's have Professor David with another presentation on the issues of perception, risky behavior, and misinformation. So over to you, David. Thank you.
Thank you, dear Thomas, and good morning to everyone. Once again, we're there to share our thoughts and knowledge on risk communication and community engagement with the particular emphasis on rumor management, what we call perception, risky behavior, and misinformation. Okay. At the end, normally, if we were together, we would have done this activity. So whenever you intend to, let's say, train your colleagues or people around you, try to do this activity. It is really very exciting to know what is coming up at the end of the activity. So in conclusion of that, we can say that, in fact, we hear what we know. So if you don't know the thing, you can't hear it, even though your neighbor is pronouncing it correctly, adequately, you cannot, and loudly, you cannot hear it. And for that, it is a matter of misunderstood what was being said. And you can notice that what was being said didn't, or your colleague, your neighbor didn't hear properly. And maybe he guessed and added to what was heard, or there were some small changes, cumulative changes in the message, or the combining information from different sources. You can get to that conclusion at the end of the activity. So it is important to know that how information spreads and rumors arise in a community during emergencies is the same way. When you hear from someone and you cannot express it exactly as what you heard, and then it goes on like that. That is the way we spread rumors and misinformation. Here, actually, we would like to you to be able, at the end of the session, to use dynamic listening as a means to get to know your audience and address their concern. Secondly, to identify and monitor rumors that could cause confusion. And the third one is to develop a strategy to address the rumors in order to stop their spread. And this is this slide shows our 5 domains. And we go straight to the perception. What do we call perception? Just some 2 questions for you. You do not need to answer it actually directly, but have you ever wondered why people can look at the same thing and see it completely different? Or what has influenced that difference? These are questions we should ask ourselves because all the time we have different perceptions for the same object. And here, actually, you see two images, and you can, if we were together and I ask some of us, what are we seeing here? Actually, there will be different answers. So it depends on who is looking, what are we looking at, and how do we look, when do we look? Because if it is in the morning, it will be different from the evening, you see. And here, Peter Sandman has stated that for every individual, their perception is the reality. Isn't it the same for us, I think? Because what we perceive to be a risk is our reality. You can see the right one, the image at the right side, that the first at the left side say it is 6, and the other one say it is 9. And they are all both correct, you see. So it is like that. So that we need to take care to what we are saying, and to be cool, not to rush and saying this, we are right and the other one no, not. Because it may be the way he is or she is looking at the thing. And when you see the central image, you can see that there are many things you can actually be seen, and the face of an adult man. And but actually it is not like that at all, you see. So we have to take care and take care to what we are seeing and what we can say about a given situation. The same thing here, you can see that for normally it is an elephant, but many things can be seen through that elephant, actually. Understand stakeholders' perception is critical then, because two-way dialogue and engagement are essential good practice in communication. So we have to listen to our vis-a-vis to know what exactly he or she is saying and why it is like that. And am I saying the same thing? No, it is different. Why it is like that? Understanding the needs and concerns of both stakeholders and other target audiences is essential to maximize the effectiveness of communication. You see, it is very important then, because for the same thing, people can see different thing. Here, actually, you see, so for someone, it is a fan, it is a spear, it is a snake, it is a tree, it is a wall, it is a rope. And all these perceptions are false. Okay? So, how we define then perception? Perception involves the way we view the world around us. It adds meaning to information gathered via the 5 senses of touch, smell, hearing, vision, and taste. Perception is the primary vehicle through which we come to understand our surrounding and ourselves. Perception can be defined as a process by which individuals organize and interpret their sensory impressions in order to give meaning to their environment. And there are factors influencing perception. A number of factors operate to shape and sometimes distort perceptions. And it is related to perceiver, the attitudes he or she has, the moods, motives, self-concept, interests, cognitive structure, expectations. or the object or the target being perceived, also the physical appearance and our perception of others, you see, coming here to let us see or see what we are seeing. And the context of the situation in which the perception is made. For instance, here, I can say, you see, when you see a professor seeing his student or her student, his or her student at a swimming pool in bikini, it is not a problem because at a swimming pool, yes, normally female wear bikini, but if it is in a classroom, that student, she came with a bikini, you know, the perception will be different. That is it actually. So the circumstances also shape what we can see and what we can say about what we are seeing. What is actually rumors? We have to go to dictionaries and see what is there about rumors. Actually, with AFRO English Dictionary, a rumor is actually currently circulating story or report of uncertain or doubtful truth. And you can see it is important to notice that the information circulating is uncertain or doubtful truth, you see. So we have then to check to know whether what is circulating is true, for it is true or false. And to do so, you have to be empowered to be skilled to know whether it is false or true. And when we go to Merriam-Webster dictionary, rumor is a statement or report current without known authority for its truth. You see, so it is circulating this information, but we don't know who is the owner, where it where is it coming from? We don't know actually. You see, so rumors are a natural response to uncertain or threatened times. Then they can help people make sense of a situation or take action against a threat. There are differences we have to know about rumor, misinformation, and fake news, you see, because misinformation is incorrect information spread by people without the intent to deceive, accidentally false, as an honest mistake, for instance, from CDC network. Disinformation refers to information that is deliberately false, you see, and rumors are an item of circulating information whose veracity status is yet to be verified at the time of posting it, you see. So also houses and fake news are tricks or false stories that appear to be news. So there are differences there. According to one study, misinformation is what mostly happen. You see, people share information when it comes from friends and family without checking, because you have a certain trust in that friend. And then when you hear from him, oh, no problem. You take it as a truth. You spread it. You see, so we have to take care and know what we are spreading. If we have to do so, let's check to know. Why rumor then occur? Why rumors occur? It is because of lack of sufficient factual information, lack of access to that information, misunderstanding, mispresentation, or mistrust or fear, too much information, related to past experience or cultural belief. Because of all this, we do need, as we know, actually, there are several reasons why rumors occur. We have to ask our people to be careful in order that, okay, when we are in emergency situation, we have to try to be fast, giving them the truth, and then not too much information also, because all this can cause rumors. Okay. And then why rumors, I'm sorry, yes. Why rumor occurs, it is occurred, not occurs. Why rumors occur, you see, actually, we have normally from studies, we have 7 different reasons from the literature to know that actually there is a problem with uncertainty. When people are not sure of the situation, they don't know actually, and that creates anxiety, and they have certain beliefs also about the situation. Then rumor activities occur. That is it. So we have to, so that our people know, they need to know the reality of the situation. We have to explain and to calm them, to let them know that we can handle the situation whenever we are together. So no anxiety at all. And if we discuss with them in a process of engagement, we can know what are the beliefs behind all this situation from their parts, so that we can address them, let them know, then we can, address that way. By doing this, we can address rumors. And why it is important to work, actually, why it is important to work with rumors. We have to deal with rumors because they can have catastrophic effect for communities and organizations. And we have seen in the past that rumors kills people. I can give you with the coming slides some examples. In an emergency context, rumors can threaten lives, yes, and there are many or several examples in the past we have seen. They can create suffering or anger and provoke detrimental behavior or violence reactions. People are unable to make informed choices. For all these reasons, they cannot be ignored. We have to deal with rumors from the beginning of an emergency situation. It is very critical. We cannot ignore them. It is not possible. Rumors need to be monitored and managed. Rumors provide opportunity as a form of feedback on our actions, because it is the feedback people are actually giving us on what we are doing as intervention in a given situation. It is not a question of whether there will be rumors during crisis. There always are rumors. It is compulsory. You have to take this on board and deal with rumors when you are dealing with an emergency situation. The question is rather, how will we engage and work with rumors? And why people, they share rumors? To explain a situation or an event, to share useful or entertaining information, novel, to define oneself by being in the know or making others to know, to not be in a bad situation, and to develop relationship by using information as a currency to feel connected to issues affecting them, to mislead or deceive, often economically or politically motivated. Because it's not necessarily by a bad intention that people are spreading, or are sharing rumors because they don't know and they wanted to help their neighbors to know what is the information going on actually. With the exception of disinformation, people generally share rumors because they believe the rumor or part of it. That is it actually. And how rumors spread. It is normally, you see, because people are talking from mouth to mouth via media or social media actually are having a leading role actually because many people are connected and all reinforce each other, can then spread in second a rumor. And you can see once the rumor goes viral, it is very difficult to stop it, very, very difficult. And we have some examples here, a recent message on Twitter study showed that fake news is 70% more likely to be repeated than facts. Fake news spread 6 times faster than the truth on Twitter. And after a long time, as more people query or reveal the truth, the rumor slowly fades. So it is important, critical to engage, as one colleague were asking right now with the previous presentation. It is critical to engage communities even before the emergency situation occurs. We do not need to wait for it to occur before we engage our communities. No, it is critical to start on our daily lives, so the way we work with them, already we engage them. That is the way to go. And actually, you see the strength of rumor is linked to what we call R equal I times A. It is, in other words, to say that, you see, the main factor that influence a rumor are, in fact, its importance. That is the I. The rumor equal importance and ambiguity times ambiguity. That is what we are saying through this I times A. The basic law of rumor, the importance of the issue and the level of the ambiguity will dictate the amount of rumor circulating. That is what Alport and Postman said. So it is important to the listener to know that if it is, what we are listening about, it's health, life, or well-being, income, these can be very important for people and very threatened. It is ambiguity. So also, when it is not clear what is being said, so we have to make sure what we are saying to our population is very, very clear for them to understand. And that's why we need, in emergency situation, to train media. We have to train our medias to collaborate with them, to partner with them and train them so that they take care to what they are, spreading through public communication. And here, actually, we have an example or some examples around the world via how rumors spread. And in 2012 in Cambodia, there were that situation in rumor about a mastery illness that killed children, and they closed all schools. It was very, very bad situation at that time, and it was simply because of rumors. And also in 2011 in China, through the general population, there was a rumor about iodized salt, and that led to many deaths also. And also in our region here in 2003 in Nigeria, we all know about what was that time about polio vaccine, and with many situations. The best approach is to find individuals actually who share enough in common with members of the relevant communities to establish trust. So we need to establish trust in this kind of situation, actually. So actually, there is a mathematics here about how rumors spread. You can see subject times ambiguity equal rumor. So it is important what we are saying. We have to be clear about it and to not let people understand what they want. So it will be a good way to address rumors in an emergency situation. Okay, so we develop most of our beliefs from the testimony of trust. Others, such as our teachers, parents, and friends. But sometimes the ideas we spread are wrong. So sometimes we do need, and mainly when it is in emergency situation, we do need to check information. Or if we do not have time to check, do not spread it, do not share it at all. Because people believe information from friends without fact checking because it is my friend. There is a trust between us. Social trust matters to believe when individuals treat some sources of evidence as more reliable than others due to mistrust. Conformism is a preference to act in the same way as others in one's community, or sophisticated misinformation campaigns, for instance, anti-vaxxers, tobacco industry are some examples. We cannot give them all here, actually, because of time issue. So how to learn about rumors early? It is important to know immediately or earlier what is going on about rumors. So it is all about listening. We have to be positioned through traditional media monitoring, social media monitoring, surveys, face-to-face, community workers and doctors, or our population, and through also hotlines. So all these can help us to know earlier on how it starts a rumor. And actually, also social media, we have many situations actually that help to spread rumors. So that's why rumors and fake news are concerns for social media platform and countries' mechanism actually, and laws are being put in place. As we said already from the first day, at country level, there are laws or regulation mechanisms put in place to track and to monitor rumors via the social media. So while social media provides access to an unprecedented source of information, the absence of systematic effort, you can see, by platforms to moderate posts also leads to the spread of misinformation, which then requires extra effort to establish their provenance and veracity. So we do need to actually, we cannot avoid social media at this moment, no, but we need to know how to manage and to stop rumors via these means. We are using all the time and frequently, actually. So there is a tool to monitor a rumor, and this table, for instance, you can put in place with these columns, and then you can, from the beginning, monitor and know which action is important to take in order to address them. How to manage, in fact, rumors. We have actually 5 steps guiding the process to manage rumors. The first one is to listening, and the second one is to verifying where it is from and what it is really, and analyzing the rumor, the causes and the reason behind it can be something we have to deal with, and engaging with communities. So also we have to monitor, to see what is it after we address this rumor. And to monitor it, to the monitoring aspects is to say, is it a rumor? Yes. If it is a rumor, then we have to take a step more action. But if it is not a rumor, we are lucky. So we move on, throw out our activities. If then it is rumor, we have to verify if it is rumor. We verify, meet with our team, we answer and analyze this rumor. If it is not a rumor, we are happy, we continue working. But if it is rumor, we have to analyze it to know, is it spreading fast, spreading intensively, strongly believed, perceived as a risk to the people, or harmful for the affected population? If it is like that, then we draft and carry out an action plan, involve all stakeholders, and we coordinate what we have as action to do, and we engage influencers and communities, you see. And we need to know that, okay, we have actually we implemented our action plan to address the rumor. Is the rumor calming down or not? You see, if it is no, then we continue to engage with communities, to collect feedback and review our action plan, and to engage sources in cooperative manner and enhance our action plan with stakeholders. But if it is not, and it is calming down actually, then we're happy, we continue our action. You see, so being more attuned to listening for rumors and embedding a few straightforward steps into your work is a powerful way to start addressing rumor. A cycle of conversation and listening to identify rumors, verifying the facts behind them, and engaging communities with new narrative can create a way of working to counter rumors. It is very, very important, actually. So this is summarizing the previous strategy slides, actually. And how it is important to know that we have to be prepared. To be prepared is really very, very important. It is impossible to prevent rumors, but it is possible to mitigate the power of a rumor by learning about and understanding the community, sharing information, and working the solution with the community. We see the importance of community engagement once again, explaining reasons for decisions taken by organizations and providing the opportunity to raise questions and issues and feedback. Because if we are not together with them, we cannot be aware of all this. Training everyone in your organization about the importance of working with rumor, and also the community, as we said, to engage communities, we have to put this on our agenda. the training community to know what it is all about, putting a rumor strategy in place with roles and responsibilities and involving, the communities to be on our part. It is very, very critical. So there is also something very important to know about risk perception. We know that health professionals and communities do not have the same perceptions when it comes to a health issue. It is not possible because we are trained for that. They are not trained. So we need to know whether it is possible for them to understand what is going on. Because when, as I said from the beginning, the first day, you can say that, okay, it is fever, and we know that it's malaria, but they can say, no, it is witchcraft. When they say that, no, it is not a problem. They don't know what is malaria all about, you see? So you have to deal with this by collaborating with them, engaging them so that they also be part of our intervention and understand really what it is about. Because it is very, very important to know that experts, for them, they see risk in terms of morbidity and mortality, but the general public, it is not like that. So we need to know that it is crucial to listen and to take into consideration the concerns of our audience so that we can not to say, oh, no, that is wrong. It is not the way to go about it. You have to accept what they are saying and now find out what are the ways we can use to let them understand this. So we have to be in a mood of innovation. We have to innovate and we quit our zone of comfort and we be with them, understanding what they are saying. It is critical because perception rather than fact drives public action. And for instance, we have here an example. You see, you are saying that vaccines do not cause sudden death syndrome in babies, but people in the general population, they come to tell you that what you are saying is that vaccine cause sudden death in babies, you see, because they just heard vaccines, sudden death, babies. Oh, then never go and take a vaccine, you see? So you have to be careful. And why we should not refute myths directly, it is because people do not remember the whole message and the myth sticks further in memory because that is what they are familiar with. They know and they heard about vaccines, sudden death, babies. That's all they can tell you from what you are saying. So we have to take care. It's not because you have said it and for you it was clear, but check and see what it is in the general population. Some tips for us to know how to go about all this is to communicate early and transparently and regularly. It's very, very critical. And to keep message short, clear, and actionable. Counter indirectly repeating reinforces false message. So you do not need to repeat the rumor. Never. You go indirectly. You know what is the meaning, what is the reason behind that rumor. Then you tackle that reason, not to repeat the same rumor. Use multiple most preferred channels and amplify facts through influencers and credible sources. Acknowledge concerns and more, and work the solution with the community. Important to be with community, engaging them and coordinate with partners. You cannot do it alone. It is not possible. And here you see rural strategy, how we can plan to address rumors. Planning should be sensitive to stakeholders' needs, participatory, responsive to context, and incorporate feedback from affected populations. Very, very critical. So we have to listen, and create trust within the community, the affected community. And to do so, to be able to do it correctly, adequately, it is on a daily life when we are working to them in a peaceful situation context. Let them be trust, and let we be in that attitude to listen to our population. And also, you can see here that when we are talking about rumor, it is a matter of the level of the epidemic also. So we have to be in certain attitude when it comes to preparation phase, or the start of emergency, or the opportunity for control, and crisis and control, or when it comes to evaluation. Oh, you see, so we have to know all these. We need to know about rumor through dropout and epidemic. So you have resources here to learn more about rumors and how to address them. You have many resources, as you can see, and also in the literature, you have many things you can read about rumors, because it is critical to be successful in addressing responding to a given urgent health situation. Thank you very much. Over to you, Thomas.
Yeah, thanks so much, David, for that good presentation. You have highlighted a lot of issues in terms of how we can deal with the rumors, misinformation, and the difference between misinformation and disinformation. And most importantly, the issues of perception, how the scientists respond to facts, and how people will respond to perception. And people, I think there's also another saying that people perceive what they want to, they hear what they want to hear. So we need also to take that into consideration. And how can we manage the rumors, how the rumors spread, and which rumors to maybe to respond to, and how best can we respond to the rumors without amplifying the rumors, without repeating the rumors, because some other people may not have heard that rumor. But if you are repeating it, you may make it as a reality on the ground. So colleagues, you can use the chat function, the Q&A function, to send your questions and or comments. So there are 3 questions in the Q&A. Please, in brief, what is perception? What is perception? And that's from Smart. I think that's a phone, Smart 5. Is there any positive advantages for rumors? That's Mlewa. Can we use rumor interchangeably with disinformation, misinformation, and fake news and fake beliefs? If not, please tell us their differences with an example. So over to you, David. Prof, it's your time to respond. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Thomas. Very interesting questions there. In short, rumors, perception. The first question was about perception. It is, in fact, the way we view, as I said, the world around us. And this implies, what we are, at which level of the literacy we are, and what is our history, how we have been brought up. All this leads us to view a certain object the way it is for us. Because you can see that someone viewing actually the same thing, even at the same position we are, cannot see the same thing. So this implies many circumstances we went through, and that forge what we are actually doing. That is perception, because it depends on everyone the way it is, and that is it. And also the circumstances you are viewing, what you are looking at. That is it, actually, perception. So you can say that something is red, or you are not Daltonian, but it is not red. You are saying this because of all you have in your mind and the circumstances. Maybe the time period, the time you are seeing the thing, it was not clear. The weather was not clear, you see. All these contribute to actually the perception we may have about something, okay? And the other question is about, is there any positive advantage for rumors? Yes, I said it. You know, for rumors, we need to know that rumors are not something we have to reject systematically. No, when there is rumor, for us, it is to be considered like a feedback from our vis-a-vis communities, what they are thinking about what we are doing as intervention in dealing with an emergency situation. So it is not a bad thing, you know, rumors, but we have to know that we need to monitor them and address them the good way so that there is no harm on our populations. That is clear for me. Can we use the word rumor interchangeably with disinformation, misinformation? And no, because maybe, I don't know whether I should, but you will be using the slides, and you know that it is not the same at all. No, because definitions were there. We said that misinformation is incorrect information spread by people without the intent to deceive. It is accidentally false as an honest mistake. And disinformation refers to information that is deliberately false. But rumors are items or circulating information whose veracity status is yet to be verified at the time of posting. You see the difference. And also you have horses and fake news are tricks or false stories that appear to be news. So if you want, we can say, okay, rumor, but if you want to go further, deeper, to analyze what it is, you have to know the differences between all these terms we are using. Thank you. So another one, please, Thomas.
Yes, the last one from Sodopo. Thank you, David, for the presentation. Are there any preferred behavior change models to tackle perceptions? Which one, in your experience, works?
Okay, thank you. From my experience, you know, I used to work on the root causes of the situation, any situation, even including rumors. Because actually, the way I have been trained is to know that the behavior change theories and models actually they have many insufficiencies. So the main way to deal with a health situation or health issue is to tackle the root causes. And when you are, that's why I was make an emphasis on the way that we have to address rumors is to analyze rumors, to analyze them, to know what are the reasons behind these rumors so that we can really address them. Without knowing deeply the causes, it is not possible to address them adequately. That's what I think. So I cannot tell you to use this or that theory for behavior change theory. Thank you.
Another one from the chat. Can we say like misinformation, rumors, disinformation, fake news emanate from perception?
It is not all coming from perception, actually, but because when it is disinformation, it is deliberately false information. That is, I think for that one, it is different, because it's deliberately false. Someone just say something bizarre and it is going on throughout the community. So that is different. But, okay, but the way you take it, if it is a disinformation or misinformation, or the way you take it is the way you were, built up. Who are you? And all your, personal knowledge, literacy, all these now lead you to accept and to spread it or not. So that's what I can say, you see, actually.
Yeah, thanks so much, David, for those good presentations. It had been a wonderful 3 days for you too, Aminat and yourself. Rich materials, which as RCCE practitioners, they are good resource that you can be able to utilize. So moving on, let me remind the participants to ensure that we have completed our post-test. And we have checked in the chat, we have shared the materials, and also the post-test should be submitted. And we'll be sharing the course evaluation form so that we know how which areas we can improve for the next subsequent webinars. Thanks so much once again, David. I think we should be able to organize another one. There are a lot of issues that the RCCE gurus in the countries would like to know and share experiences. So thanks once again.
You're welcome.
Thank you. Moving on, I hope we have managed to send our post-test. And if the Secretariat can now send us the post evaluation forms, the course evaluation forms, so that we can be able to fill. The deadline for the post-test should be today, so that they can be able to consolidate maybe by 5 o'clock Central Eastern Time, Central African Time, so that
in 30 minutes. In 30 minutes.
In 30 minutes we should be able to send. So reaching this far, there are more questions. Let me see. Is the pre-test different from the post-test? No, they are the same. We really need just to note whether you have managed to gather the information from the 3 days. Addis, over to you, if there is anything.
Thomas.
Yes, Moju.
Hello, Thomas.
Yes, Moju, please proceed.
How are you?
Good, and how are you? Please proceed, if anything.
Okay, no, today. No, today it's unfortunate I had a very bad connection. And just to say that I was on and off, and I want to thank each and everyone for the excellent presentation. And we do hope to see each other very soon, but the presentations were very good, and we had a very good 3 days. And that was really great. So just want to thank all the participants. I want to thank Africa CDC and as well as WHO for organizing this important training, where the aim is to build the capacities of our health professionals on this communication and community engagement. So it was a wonderful 3 days and then very interactive. But also want to thank Thomas for the excellent coordination and for chairing these sessions. And also thank the presenters and the interpreters for an excellent job that has been demonstrated. Aminata, David, and then as well as other colleagues that have connected and the interpreters. Really, we say a big thank you to all of you. Over to you, Thomas.
Thanks so much, Modu. Before I forget to the participants or attendees, we usually have a monthly webinar every last Thursday of the month. So we usually send out the interesting topics for discussion for that particular month. So feel free to join us and also contact the country specific reps so that they can be able to give you what kind of topics are we talking about. So over to you, Addis.
Thank you very much, Thomas, for chairing today's session again. I think we are coming to an end, and good afternoon, colleagues. Good afternoon, participants. On behalf of Dr. Benjamin Jodabai, I would like to say thank you so much, everyone. And we are very grateful for your taking time off from your busy schedule to attending this 3 days risk communication and community engagement refresher training. And I would like to also extend my appreciation to the facilitators, Professor David and Aminata, for the very engaging sessions and on the area of the public health risk communication and community engagement. And also thank you so much to our the current chair of the public health risk communication and community engagement community of practice for Africa, and also Mr. Thomas Mabuto for chairing this session, and our steering committee member, Mr. Nyaje Modu, for also chairing yesterday's session. And of course, our interpreters and our IT officer for thank you so much for your excellent job. As Dr. Benjamin said during his remark, risk communication shouldn't leave it. We shouldn't leave it only for communication officers, experts, but also we all have responsibilities in the public health. The public health experts. We need to involve a lot in health promotion and behavioral change, because the best way to combat our common problem, whether it's COVID or any kind of pandemic, is we need to collaborate and we need to work together. And this is just the beginning of our joint effort activity with WHO AFRO. With Africa CDC and WHO AFRO, we will have other upcoming activities, and we will definitely reach you out when the time is right. And I don't want to keep you all, but as Mr. Mabuto said, kindly share your pre-test, post-test, so that Prof can evaluate where you are in terms of the risk communication and community engagement knowledge, as well as experiences. But I don't want to take so much time. Thank you very much. Over to you, Thomas.
Thanks so much, Addis. And maybe just to also thank our interpreters. They have done a wonderful job. When the facilitators were presenting, they were able to be on top of their game. We have the post-course evaluation. There's a link there. So when you are submitting your post-test, you should be able also to give us an overview in terms of how we have seen this refresher training. Your feedback is very important so that we can be able to improve how best you can do the same course in future. Necron, you have the floor.
Yes, Honorable Chair, thank you so much. Let me start off with our in-house team. On behalf of Africa CDC, as I've already said and given the message from Dr. Benjamin, who unfortunately could not join us. He had to represent the Director of Africa CDC with a very strategic meeting with the chairperson of the African Union, His Excellency Musa Faki Mohammed. So that meeting is currently ongoing. So Dr. Benjamin could not join us for the closing as we're doing now. But we'd like to extend our huge appreciation to all of you, all of our participants from all across the different sectors of public health response. We kind of have been bugging the IT officer. We kind of did a sort of very quick survey to know how many people had interest in the training and registered. So the update he gave me just like an hour or two before this last session started stands at 1,204. And I want to believe that was for the last 2 days. And it can tell you it tells you how much people have got interest in what risk communication and community engagement actually means for public health response and disease outbreak, especially infectious diseases. So we're so grateful for your commitment to stay true throughout the 3 days, and thanks, a huge thanks to our facilitator, Dr. David Hirito, and our own Aminata, our big sister, we call her. We are very grateful, Africa CDC, for the coordination and partnership between your office and ours. Is really, really helpful to the work all of us are doing on the continent as it relates to public health. So just a quick sort of information. So like the chair said, Thomas said, we're going to share with you the certificate, your certificate. Rest assured, you're going to come. We're going to find every means that we got to you for this training. We're going to use those means to get your certificates to you. So we are just hoping that the names that you have on your emails and the ones that you are writing on your post-test or pre-test are the correct one that you will want on a certificate. We would really like to have your names spelled out on the certificate. Obviously, we're going to e-send the certificate to you, since we still have restriction on movements at some level. So the certificate process requires that the Africa CDC authority approves it. And we also need to have a signature from our colleagues at WHO because we are partnering for this training. So it's going to take a couple of days or maybe a week, but rest assured you're going to receive the certificate from Africa CDC and WHO for this training. So we really admonish you, as you're sending back your pre-test or post-test, just indicate the name, the full name, correct spelling, title, whatever that you want to be written on the certificate so that we have it correctly. In case we make any error, you can get in contact with us again. We can correct it and send you whatever way you want the certificate to be written and presented. That would do it from my end. I think so far we're good to go. Thank you. It's over to you, Chair.
So much, Nikron and Addis, and all the facilitators, the technical team, and all the attendees for the 3 Saturday. Just as we are sending the post-test. And just to share, to mention that we also have a steering committee, which has representatives from all the Africa region. And we are in the process of getting our colleagues from the north of Africa, because they're not a part and parcel of the Africa WHO region, so that we can be able to coordinate and move the RCCE agenda in Africa. So I'm the current chair of the steering committee, and it revolves every 2 years. And we feel free to participate in whatever form you would like, so that we can get your views through the country representatives. Other than that, thanks so much for being there. And if we call it a day now, I think it will be appropriate. So kindly send your names to the email address that is there for the certificate. And also you can send the same post-test to the email address of Nikron as well as Addis. We're supposed to finish at in the next 15 minutes. We will utilize that time to finish our post-test and also to finish the evaluations. Thanks so much. And let's meet again next month, last Thursday of the month for another webinar, which usually takes place for about 2 hours. Thanks so much. Bye-bye.
Thank you, Chair. Just there are colleagues asking in the chat whether we have extra post-test. So the pre-test and the post-test evaluation are the same. I've also put in the link to the general evaluation. That is the one that you will evaluate the training on the overall, the performance of our facilitators and the topics, and how you will recommend that we make it better the next time. So the post-test and the pre-test forms are the same. We just wanted to know how your knowledge was at the beginning, and we want to know what has changed within the 3 days of training. So you can use the same form from yesterday or the day before, and you just fill it in as the post and pre-test. Yeah. And just, hello?